All right, hi everyone. I'm here with Holly Roush, Master Distributor. I actually called her today because I know on my team we struggle sometimes with just figuring out the best way to invite someone to a Viva Seo event. And that's the way we build our business. And it's funny because in my last company we didn't do that. We did a lot of one-on-ones. And so today I got Holly on the phone because she's an expert at this. She's done this all in her last company, and she's just done it so much here in Viseo. So I just wanted to ask her a few questions, and she was just like, we should just totally hit record and send this out because I'm pretty sure that everybody has the same, the same concerns or, the same things that they're looking for, how they can do better. So I guess, Holly, the first thing I really wanted to ask you today was, how do you really get people to a Viva Seo?
And I think that's a great question, Francoise. And I think it's one so many people ask all the time. And I think it's probably what stumps most people from actually hosting one because they have all these preconceived notions in their mind on what a perfect view looks like. The best way to start inviting is picking up the phone and calling people. And remember that Viseo action plan that all of you got in the mail when you got started. Go open that up because in there it kind of talks about contacting and inviting. But first, what do you have to have? It's your list. So as you're writing that list of everyone you can think of, you're using your cell phone and inviting your friends from there. You're picking up the phone. I think the biggest mistake people make is sending a group text, doing an evite or a paperless post, putting it out there on their Facebook page. You've pretty much ruined all your contacts then because you know what your friend's thinking on the other end of that invite is she invited 100 people. So if I don't come, she'll never know. And so that you're making it very easy for them to be like, oh, I didn't get that text, or yeah, it went to my spam, that invite. And so it's really easy for them to make excuses. What isn't easy is when you pick up the phone, you're super excited, you're sharing what you have your hands on. Hopefully by now you've reached out to them, you've talked to them a little bit about Viseo, you've texted them the 5 pillars video, maybe you've done a 3-way call or a connect call with your upline, and now you're inviting them to your meeting. Why? Because you should be leaving them wanting more. And so as you're ending your connect call or you're ending your one-on-one, you should always have a home Viseo view to point to. Why? They want more information. You've just given them little bits and pieces, and now you have them craving for more. And they need a place to take their friends because, they probably got excited sitting down there with you and they're picking up the phone calling their friends. Oh my gosh, I just heard about this Viseo. I'm super excited. I think we can get healthier. We can make some money on the side. I want my friends to do this with me. Well, great. How do I hear more? Well, we've got a meeting next Tuesday night at the Untermeyer's home, 7:30. Let's make sure we all go. Here's the address. And that's when you use your text, is by sending them a text, a reminder. I like to put a little graphic together that talks about the Viseo view, the location, and the time, not to invite them, but for their reminder, because now you can follow up with them and send them where that meeting is. You can even have little cards or something, invites for your next meeting. Francoise, this is something we talked about a lot this weekend. I think another mistake people make on their Viseo views is ending the meeting without the next meeting. You're in the meeting, people are so excited, they're craving more, they get in the car and they're like, Susie, I just went to this Viseo View event, it was so much fun, the product's so fun, the community's amazing, I think we can make money, I want you to hear about it. Well, tell me about it. Well, I don't know anything, I just went to this deal, but you can come with me next time. Well, when is it? Oh, I'm not sure. They didn't say, but I'll call the person who invited me and find out when the next one is. And now she's like, oh gosh, I have nothing planned. So here's a little trick, Francoise. I never ever start a Viseo view without knowing when the next one is. Literally, I've stood in people's living room and not started, just with my arms crossed. We're not starting until I know the next month. Just get your calendar out right now. So we're gonna do it next Tuesday. And it really helps them because it takes time for people to remember that. When we get so caught up and so busy, we forget. But truly, that's your follow-up. It's your most important thing that you do at the end of a Viseo view is point to the next one. Hey, this was an amazing turnout. I know all of you guys are excited. Can you think of 2 people you could bring next week? We're gonna do it again next Tuesday night, 7:30, same place. So as you're calling your friends, you can invite them. So that's kind of how you should be doing your Viseo views, getting your contact, inviting or calling them. You don't need to share a whole lot except for I'm going to this Viseo view or I'm hosting a Viseo view. If you're hosting at your home, you know what I'm telling my friends? Look, please come. I'll die if nobody shows up. Come support me. Just listen to what I'm doing and see why I'm excited, and then you can make your decisions from there. So you're just asking your friend to support you.
Okay. So yeah, so it sounds like social media in Texas, you kind of lose control, right? So you're kind of throwing it out there and now you no longer have control.
You're right. It is. It's absolutely losing complete control. And you kind of just have squashed all of your contacts, because now when you try to pick up the phone and call, guess what? They think they know why it is. So they might avoid that call and just send it to voicemail. So especially your initial list of your friends and family and people you have influence with, pick up that phone and or be in front of them. Maybe you're sitting at a basketball game, a football game, a soccer game, a perfect opportunity to be sharing with them, hey, I'm hosting something in my home on Tuesday night, Paseo. I think it's something that you might really like. It's a way for us to get healthy and make some extra money. I'm inviting my closest friends. I'd love to see you there. So you're in front of them, inviting them too.
So if someone was to ask you there, they're like, what is it? Like, how do you get away from that? Because I know personally for me, I very rarely will do any sort of invite in person because you can't get away, right? Because you're like right in front of their face. So phone calls, I think, are always, it's more comfortable for me. But like if you're doing those in face-to-face ones, how do you get around that when your friend's like, well, what are you guys doing?
Just say, you know what? I'll text you a video when we leave here. And so you can send them the 5-pillar video, and that kind of shares it with them. And I'll follow up with that with you later on and let you watch it, and you'll kind of get a glimpse into what we're doing. But you know what? I'm just learning it too. We're going to explain everything on Tuesday, and it's so much more fun to see it in person. So I'll see you there.
Okay.
And I think it's easier, honestly, in person because they feel your energy. These are your friends, remember? You're with them sitting at soccer. And for me, or you're with them sitting at basketball or a dance lesson for your kids. So, man, you're just energized and you're excited. Oh, you don't need to know everything right now. If I told you it'd bore you, wait till you come hear from the person who's speaking. Because maybe you're inviting your upline. And that's the other thing is if your upline is coming into your home to do a meeting, this is when inviting is critical. Because your upline is taking time out of their crazy busy schedule to get into your home. And sometimes we think, well, I'll just open at my house and everybody else will invite people and I won't really have to. No, take ownership of it being your home. Their time is valuable and invite as many people as you can. And that's where you're pulling that friend card. Look, Ricky and Francoise are coming to my home. They're rock stars. No matter who your upline is, they're total rock stars. They know everything. I will die if nobody comes. Please, please, please come and support me and listen. And you might like what you hear. And so you're just pulling out every stop that you can to get them there. Because here's what we know, is if they come, 99% will get signed up. I mean, it's just 99% leave with something, some sort of plan to get involved with you. It's just getting them there. And text and social media are two things that are not going to get them there.
Okay, so if you're having your first USAO event, you're really excited about it and you want to fill a room, but what's like a good number of people? Because I know, people will look at some events that are bigger and they're scared to have an event. What's a good amount?
And Francoise, that's a great point. And you should, one thing I'll encourage everyone is never compare your Viseo view to someone else's, because you don't know that they've maybe been doing this for 4 months and that's why their house is packed. You are just getting started. Literally, if one person shows up, that's a success, because you and that one person can get around the table. Funny story, when we first started, we'd have the PowerPoint. One of our friends is a pilot, so he takes things very literal. One person showed up to his house. He had to do it, thought he had to do it on this big fancy TV and stand up there in front of this one person sitting in the room, which how awkward for the one person. I died laughing. I was like, oh, if you have 1 or 2 or 3, get around your kitchen table. There's intimacy about it. Sometimes when the room's packed, it's harder to connect with all those different guests that are in there. So you want to start small, and you can connect with them. You can learn so much more because you can ask them questions. What makes them tick? What's their why? Why would they want to get involved? Is it the product? Is it the money? And you can share those things and you can plan for the next one. So one person is a success. And here's the deal. Never, ever, ever, ever cancel one. If you have a Viseo view planned and you've invited people, don't cancel it. Even if nobody shows up, nobody knows that nobody showed up. That's between you and your walls and your house. Use that time to get out your notebook, build a list, start contacting people in that list. Say, man, we had a great Viseo view. They don't know it wasn't great. You might've been great because you did 10 minutes of self-improvement. Maybe you practice on your own. It was a great meeting. Sorry we missed you, but guess what? We're doing another one next Tuesday night at 7:30, same place. I can't, will that night work for you? If it doesn't ever work for them, here's another tip, Francoise, get in front of them. What will work for you? Because I'd love to sit down with you for coffee, or I'd love to come by your house and share it with you. They don't always have to come to a Viseo view because maybe nights never work. Maybe you can't find a time, or maybe they're intimidated about coming to a group setting. Get to them. Once you get to them, you break down those walls, and then they'll come to you.
Great. Okay, perfect. No, those are great suggestions. Thank you. So there's another thing that I was thinking about doing. Like currently right now, we do videos in the evening time. And I know in your last company, you built a huge business, and sometimes you did like morning coffee.
Yes.
Or was that just strictly for ladies? Tell me a little bit more about that.
It wasn't just for ladies. I think I started it assuming it would be, but today so many people have flexible schedules. It's amazing that they can maybe go into their office, maybe they're in outside sales. So it doesn't matter the time. And let's face it, as moms, as dads, if you're working a job full time, you've got kids that are in sports, nights do not always work. Maybe your husbands don't want you doing it like my husband didn't want me. So I had to get creative. He didn't know what I was doing during the day when he was at work. So I hosted parties. And what's great about doing the Viseo view in the morning is I would tell people, come as you are, drop your kids off, get your workout in, put a ball cap on, and come on over. Because sometimes people think I've got to get fancy, formal, so I don't have time to shower, I can't get there. Come as you are. As a matter of fact, I would say no makeup required. These are your friends. And so I'd love to do 9:30, 10, just depending on the time you get your kids dropped off. And we'd have great turnouts every time we did that, because again, it's getting creative and going to a place that works for others. Nights don't always work, so you're taking away these excuses.
Okay, so how did you promote that one exactly?
Same thing, picking up the phone, calling into my team. Hey, we're gonna do a Viseo view tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It's an opportunity. We're gonna talk product, compensation plan, 10 a.m. Come as you are, no makeup required, work out, bring a couple friends, and then you just promote into your team that they need to call and do the same. And again, you can do this weekly. That's a success. A couple people come, and the next week, those 2 or 3 may bring 2 or 3 people. And bounce your days of the week around. If you do a standing appointment that always says every Wednesday night we're going to be in the Roush House at 7:30, it's going to be great at first. As you're growing your business, it will pack out. But eventually you're going to have markets grow in other parts of town, and you've got to get to them. So as you see that slowing down, start going into the homes. I look for the person who's on the edge of their seat and their eyeballs are just lighting up. They're so excited and they're asking a million questions. That's who I'm going to say, if she gets signed up, or the person who brings the most guests. I see, Susie sitting there, and Susie has 5 guests. If she can bring 5 guests into my home, imagine how many she can have in her own home. I'm going to get to her house next. I'm not going to do the one that's like, bored, stiff, and like eyes are closed, or they're rolling their head in the back of their eyes, and you're like, oh, but they know everybody. They clearly don't want to do this with you. You don't want to go to their home. You're looking for the ones whose eyeballs are popping out. They're bringing the guests. They're super fired up. And that's the house you're going to get into. So really pay attention. I pay attention in these rooms and see who's asking the question, who's bringing the guests, and get to them. And like I said, always end. And Francoise, another tip that I like to do is, as I sponsor somebody, I love to get in their home. I love to get out the calendar right away and say, I'll come to your house and I want to do 3 Viseo views for you, 3 weeks in a row. And her and I might map out those 3 weeks. So next week we're going to do Monday, the following week will be Tuesday, then we'll go back to Monday. We don't tell everybody that, but we start with the first Monday night. So she's calling all her friends. I'm having this party. My sponsor, Holly's coming to town. I'll die if nobody comes. Please come support me. We've got this company, Viseo. I'm going to send you the text, however your invite works. And people are going to come there. At the end of that, we have already mapped out her next one. So I have her start it by introducing herself and why she's doing it, because it's her home and her friends. So she's going to introduce that, and then I'm going to do the rest of the party for her because she's going to be nervous. The next one, I have her introduce herself again, and I do it. By the third one, we've already announced it. The third one's happening. She's going to host that Viseo view. She is going to talk and go through the PowerPoint, and I'm there as backup. I'm there to support her, answer questions, help her close it. And by then now, I've taught her how to get off, or him, off and running on their own without waiting for me. So that fourth one that they're doing on their own. And every person they're sponsoring, they're saying, I'm going to come do 3 for you 3 weeks in a row. And we're teaching that duplication all the way down, because your goal is to have 15 to 20 meetings some point in your city going on. In Jacksonville, we want 15 to 20 home meetings going on. And obviously, Ricky and Francoise can't be at all of them, so they know it's growing. There's people doing them on their own. Dallas, Texas, 15 to 20 home meetings going on in there. Tulsa, same thing. That is our goal, because that means you've taught the duplication.
Okay. So you're saying 1 to 3 meetings, they should be up and running by themselves.
Absolutely. After 3, they got it.
Okay.
And I still go and support them, and I'm not saying I'm never coming back, but it's a great system to get started, because you got to get them comfortable, and sometimes you just got to nudge them out of the little nest, and all of a sudden they're comfortable enough to do it on their own.
No, and sometimes they're ready. They just need that nudge.
That's right. Well, they need someone to tell them you believe in them. You can do this. I can't tell you how many friends were so nervous to do their own, and when I was just like, "You're doing it, you got it," they felt empowered. They got up there and they're like, "I can do this," and all of a sudden they're booking their own meetings with people.
Yeah, so good. Okay, so how far in advance do you think you should be inviting to a Viva SEO event?
I truly think, obviously an invite of something fancy, formal is 2 weeks, but this is within a week. You literally could be in it within a day. If you see things happening and they're moving and it's Monday night and all of a sudden Wednesday is available for you, put it out there. Let your team know, and you pick up the phone and start inviting people. It can be last minute, but if you have this plan like I'm teaching you, where you have a week in advance with each of these people that you're doing home meetings for, you should have at least a week in advance to start inviting. And again, inviting means picking up the phone and inviting them, because it's hard to say no to somebody on their other line. 1, when they're so fired up and they're so confident, but 2, because they picked up the phone. How many people actually get phone calls today being invited to something? Nobody. So they're like, they took the time out of their busy schedule to pick up the phone and call me. And if they don't answer, you just leave a message. "Hey, I've got something I want to share with you. Give me a call back when you get a minute." Don't tell them, "Hey, I'm doing this networking thing on Tuesday night. You should come." Not going to work.
Never give out that kind of
That's right. That's right.
All right. No, I think that's great, Holly. Is there anything else you want to add? I think you were very helpful.
Francoise, really the whole system, if people get out the SEO action plan, but here's kind of how the system works. It's you contacting and inviting that list that you've built. You're doing a connect call. You're sharing the 5 pillars video. From there, you're doing a one-on-one, because you're sitting down with them, that 15-minute meeting or so that you're setting up and really sharing this and trying to close them on signing up. But from those one-on-ones, you always need a SEO home meeting to point to. It's super important. So if you don't have one to go to in your area, because people are going to be watching this that don't have an upline in their area, here's what I have to tell you: you be the upline. Wouldn't you like to be the person that owns your city or owns your state? I'd be like, hallelujah, I'm the only one in this town. I'm taking it on. And that's what you should do. So you start it, you be that leader. So you're going to do your one-on-ones, which lead to your home meetings, because you have it planned and you're going to be able to point to that. And then that leads eventually to the open meetings, because the open meetings at a hotel, you will not do until your home's so busting out of the sides that you've been kicked out of your house in your neighborhood. Then it's time to move on.
I know that feeling.
Me too.
Well, thank you so much. We value your time always. You're so awesome.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.